Well, I actually went to college for 4 years. I had really good professors that were really, they made me work very hard. A lot of people think, oh, you know, art school, it's easy, you get to draw all day. If you go to a good school, it's not easy. And you want to walk out of there with the tools to be able to actually work in a professional field. It's one thing to be able to draw, it's one thing to be able to paint, but you really have to be persistent in this business, and you really have to stay up on top of, you know, trying to get work. I have had several pretty good jobs out of random things like doing Saturday markets or doing small shows like Fairy Worlds Festival. So I meet a lot of people all over, and you know, I might hear from them 3 or 4 years later with a project. It's fun. Since there's 30 illustrations, you know, normally I would do 2 or 3 thumbnails for each image. With this book, I had so many ideas when we started that I didn't feel the need to do 2 or 3 thumbnails for each one. And what that is, for anybody that doesn't know, they're just really small idea sketches. And then from there, I work my way up to kind of a finished drawing, and this has the overlay on it. And if you want to get really technical, I trace over that and burnish it onto my watercolor paper, which is what I'm doing right now, or what I have done in order to be able to paint it. So there's several steps in the sketching process. It just comes from everywhere. A lot of times nature is a very big inspiration for me, which is why it was really fun that I was allowed to throw lots of critters and animals in this book. I really enjoy deriving things out of dreams that I have, and also music. Music is a big inspiration, and I like to take some lyrics and play with them, and nobody really usually knows where they come from, but I do. I have a lot of influences. Off the top of my head, I have to say Arthur Rackham is definitely one of them, Brian Froud, and at a young age, I really was interested in a lot of Georgia O'Keeffe's work, actually. And sculpture, I know it's sculpture, you would think it doesn't relate to watercolor, but I really love Giacometti as well. I chose watercolor as a medium, which a lot of other artists will say, oh man, I can't believe you work in watercolor, it's so demanding. Because if you do make a mistake, you can't really paint over it the way you can with, say, acrylic or oil. Luckily, we are in the days of Photoshop and things like that, where we can make some slight corrections if need be. But back in the day when I was illustrating, before that was even out, really, if I messed up on a painting or a cat walked on one, like just happened to me last night, I'd have to do the whole thing over. So those are some challenges, for sure. It brings back a lot of childhood memories for me, baking with my own mother. I have to say, we didn't do a ton of it, but everything from little details like the color of the rolling pin that I used, that had a lot to do with things that I remember from working in the kitchen. And I really did enjoy it as a child. It taught me preciseness, it taught me responsibility, and most importantly, it was time to spend with my family. I love the freedom. I have a feeling that most children's publishing companies out there wouldn't give me the freedom that I have with this one. Working with Barb and Nick, they're so excited about what they're doing that makes me equally as excited to do the illustrations for it. And I just come up with these ideas, and they seem to like every one of them, and it really helps the process move along quickly and smoothly. I think people forget about teaching manners. It seems that in the schools they concentrate a lot on, you know, getting that really good job and going to school and making a lot of money. And I think they really forget to focus on things like manners. And I think it's great that there's a company out there that is. I think this book is a lot different in the way that it really does encourage family activity beyond just sitting down and reading to a child at bedtime, because you know that's a pretty common family activity. But the great thing about the book is I actually haven't even seen all the other projects beyond just baking these recipes together with the family are, but it really does encourage the family unit to get together and do a project, and I think that's really important these days. I love to be out on the road. I certainly have done it for a little while, and I've been home working now for quite some time, so I think it'd be fun to get out there and really promote the book and meet people, get their input on what we're doing. I think input from people that are actually reading our stuff is very important, so I think this is a great way to connect with the public and find some stuff out.